Okay. My remarks probably won't be any longer than Andy's or Gary's. I thought I could get through this without my glasses, but maybe not. But Andy, I thank you. Where are you? For those kind remarks. General Gould, Mr. Thompson, the members of the Academy community, guests, cadets, and my classmates, a number of whom are here, thank you all for coming. I also thank my family and friends who have come from California, Connecticut, Minnesota, Kansas, Missouri, and Colorado, of course, for being here. Thank you all. I appreciate it. And I've seen a lot of people here who I haven't seen for many, many, many years. And thank you for coming. And I'm honored to share this award with Heather Wilson. Ms. Wilson is not only a distinguished graduate, but in the Congress, she was a beacon of support for a strong military and a tireless advocate for air power and space power. And you made an excellent choice in selecting her for this award. Now, you've heard about April 1st, 1954. That this award is presented to commemorate Founders Day has special significance for me. In 1954, on April 1st, at the very time that President Eisenhower was signing the law that created the Air Force Academy, I wasn't there in the White House in the Oval Office, but I was less than 2 miles away. As a sophomore in high school at Gonzaga High School, which Pete Todd knows quite a bit about since he was there a year before me, that's on the corner of North Capitol and I Streets, and 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is 16 blocks away, which is 2 miles. I was laboring away at Latin 2, Greek 1, trigonometry at the time of the signing. And although at that time I had not heard about the Air Force Academy, there was some ESP going on probably because it came into my consciousness shortly thereafter, and it has been a big part of my life ever since. Now, since this is the year of my 50th class reunion, I would like to mention just a couple of the events that I recall from the early days of your academy. As you know, our class spent 2 years up at Lowry at the temporary site in Denver while this site was under construction. Then in August of 1958, we took buses down to what's now the north entrance. They shoved us out of the buses. We were in fatigues and full field pack. And in August of 58, we marched from then Highway 80-82 before Interstate, 25, from there up into the brand new cadet area. At that time, there was no Saigon Hall, there was no chapel, there was no field house. Mitchell Hall was half its size and smaller. The trees in the air garden, they were little twigs. They were like this, and we all laughed that these trees aren't going to last the first winter at this place. They're still there 54 years later. And at the base of the ramp to the cadet area, the Bring Me Men sign wasn't even up yet. And now it's been replaced by the Integrity, Service, and Excellence sign. I'm not going to go any further there. But what we early cadets did transfer from Lowry intact was a set of values by which we lived, anchored in our honor code and underpinned by the values of duty, honor, and country, which our ATOs had started developing within us. We brought those same values here that we had begun to learn at Lowry. And as best I can tell from hanging around here all day, those values are alive and well here today. Now, 50 years later, people have asked me today, what do you consider the most important part of an academy education? Is it the outstanding academics and sciences and history, math, political science, and all of the dozens of majors that you've been able to develop here? Those all helped me in my career, to be sure, and so did the military and the airmanship and the athletic programs, both intercollegiate and intramural. They all helped mold us graduates into Air Force officers. But now, thinking back, the most enduring value that I received here was the development of character. Every aspect of cadet life had the underlying goal of increasing the quality of individual and team character in each of us. It took a while after graduation for me to realize how important the building of character affected our lives. But now, 50 years later, I recognize it as the dominant product of an academy education. In my career, I came to realize that character is the basis for leadership. Without strong character, good leadership is impossible. Character underpins honor, ethics, and courage. And it's the character, it is our character that motivates us to lead ourselves and those under our command into mortal combat with confidence. So long after forgetting the second law of thermodynamics and how to solve partial differential equations and even how to keep my hands up and my elbows in while boxing, a lesson I forgot a few times as a cadet, as you can tell by my nose, I retain the lessons in character development that I learned here. So I applaud the Academy leadership, the AOG, and the endowment in recognition of this value for embarking on the creation of the Character Development and Leadership Center here at the Academy near the cadet area. This center and the lessons in character and leadership which it will display, teach, and represent will be an inspiration to the cadets in their continuing pursuit of their own personal character development. This center, this Character Development Center, comes at a time, in my opinion, most needed in our country, when other colleges and universities continue to treat morality and ethics and honor on a sliding scale as relative and declining. The military academies, led by your Air Force Academy, treat them as absolute, unchanging, and the bedrock of their existence. Your commitment to building this Character Development and Leadership Center further enhances your same commitment to these time-honored values. So I challenge the Academy to recommit itself to creating character-building exercises and scenarios throughout the Cadets Academy experience, in sports, in airmanship, in academics, and in the spiritual domain, so that the development of character becomes deeply embedded in the Academy's genetic code, its DNA. 56 years after its creation, the Air Force Academy is thriving. I saw it in action today, under sound leadership. You are producing officers of character with a sound education and the motivation for leading the Air Force in every capacity and at every level of command. So I am honored to accept this award. I compliment the AOG for recognizing the importance of heritage that this award represents, and rest assured that I will continue to speak and to write on the values that the Academy holds dear to make me more worthy of this high honor. Thank you very much.